Guys, let's be honest. This is peak fiction. Peak fiction. There is nothing better than literally reading a JJK chapter every week. And also with Chainsaw Man coming and, Berserk coming out and all that stuff. It's just amazing. So let's really get into it. Chapter 190 of JJK. We get the results of Kashimo versus Hikari. Right, and we get a little explanation as to how that steam came about, and that was from him releasing all of his cursed energy, right? And because of that, it was explained that before his cursed energy transferred into the sewer water, it transformed into thermal energy, creating that steam explosion, right? And that's why we got that huge explosion at the end there as a cliffhanger for the last chapter. But we see Hikari survived, right? Now, how the heck did he survive that giant explosion? Well, it was explained, right? He did a binding vow, impromptu binding vow. By sacrificing his arm in this binding vow, he was able to reinforce more cursed energy throughout his body to survive the explosion. That's why he's perfectly fine, right? Because he realized that Kashimo was doing everything in his power to prevent him from making the hand seal to do his domain expansion. So that's why he thought of doing the binding vow. Now, Hikari man, super skilled. This really just shows his prowess and his quick-witted thinking. And after reading this whole entire fight, I agree with Yuta. When Hikari is hot, when he is at his peak, during Jackpot, he's on par with Yuta. I completely agree. It may not seem that way, but especially with Yuta's slight nerf of the 5 minutes, I would say absolutely he's definitely on a level of special grade, even though his powers aren't unique. That makes him special grade, I guess. So that's why he isn't technically that, but he's on that level. Or you could just say he's a special first grade. So I mean, he's on that level, right? So what we find out that's really interesting that I want to talk about is Hikari notices, and I don't think anyone really notices, he didn't really use his curse technique. He was using curse manipulation the whole time because of the element of his curse technique. So he was manipulating he was using curse manipulation the whole entire time, but never used his actual curse technique, which is interesting, right? It's so interesting because he's already this strong with that curse manipulation and just cursed energy. And we realize he's saving his attack for Sukuna. Now, if I had to guess based off of his cursed element, curse manipulation, it's like maybe some giant lightning attack that comes from the sky. That's the only thing I can guess. Or he turns into like a fully formed, like, you know how Killua's transformation, he turns into like thunder god form and he's able to go super fast? I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just one big blow attack, lightning from above or something like that. Because he says he could only use it once. Now, I don't know if it's once a day, if it's like once a year, but I think he really does mean just once. So I'm going to take his word for it, right? So, they strike a deal. Because he's not going to kill Kashimo. Strikes a deal, and the deal essentially, we don't get too much into the details, but it's about Sukuna, right? And him facing Sukuna, because we get this confirmed by him talking to Panda, because Panda is shocked, like, why would you strike a deal with this guy? And Hikari's like, let's just give him what he wants. Listen to me, I'm the senior here, so let me do this, right? So I don't know how this is going to work, but that's his idea. Now we see Hikari leave to go talk to Charles. Now I don't know why he went back to Charles specifically, and I don't think we got into it, but well, okay, so we do know why he goes back. He goes back to ask for a manga, but I feel like there may be more to him going back to Charles, because I feel like he's gonna join up somehow, some way, because it just feels weird for him to just come back just to ask about what's his manga. Right, but we get a little gag scene. Turns out he hasn't published, he hasn't won any awards, right? He's just a complete newbie with a dream. And then out of nowhere, Nishimiya. Now we haven't seen her since the end of Shibuya arc, so Good to see Nishimiya. I kind of dig the look with the little cloak. Oh no, we have seen her. Sorry, it was at the end of Maki's arc. I completely forgot. But anyway, like the look. She basically, cuts to the chase. Like, hey, let me explain what we're trying to do here, right? We've got 4 objectives. The first one's been done, which is allowing players to transfer points. Yuji did that. Second one, this is to help save Sumiki, Megumi's sister, and that's allowing players to withdraw and substituting that player in their place. That's to save Sumiki, right? 3 is to disable the whole thing that's jamming all the electrical signals so they can use phones, right? And then 4, allowing free exit and entry to the calling game so they can save more victims freely without having to substitute people, right? Now, keep it short. What they're trying to do is delay rule number 3, and they want to focus on the others, right? And the bombshell she drops is that, hey, Maki can basically enter and exit barriers at will. Now, this is most likely due to her having no curse energy whatsoever, right? Because I think if you leave, you basically forfeit your curse your curse energy and you die, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah. Maki's able to enter and exit at will, and then Mei's younger brother Ui is involved on helping them to solve the third one, which is the signal jamming. So last time we saw Ui and Mei was when they escaped Shibuya and they were in bed together, which, I'm gonna be honest, kind of a weird scene. It's like a sister-brother complex kind of going on. It's good to see Mei in the bed, but having Ui there is weird. But anyway, they're kind of untrustworthy, and they kind of talk about it later in the chapter. But yeah, so essentially, Hikari's like, hold on, how's that Zanin able to just go through the barrier? And Nishimiya is kind of sweating, and she's like, she's become a monster. And we get to see full panel of Maki, and I like the pose she's kind of doing. She's got her sword and her hands kind of laid out, and then you see on the next panel, she's kind of got a smile. I think she's enjoying the power up, and listen, she deserves it. It's really unfortunate what happened to her sister, and it just goes to show how cruel the Jujutsu world is and how messed up the Zenin clan was. But Maki is here, guys, and like, I don't know exactly where to rank her with Hikari and Yuta, because I don't know if we could say if she's Toji level yet until we see more, but she's definitely special first grade, easily. Can she tussle with someone like Hikari or Yuta? I would say yes, but I don't know to what extent. So, based off the end of this chapter, we might get a little bit more detail on that. But honestly, she took out her whole entire family, so I would say yes. I'm just being a little apprehensive, just because I just got off, the Yuta fight and the Hikari fight. But we get to see Nishimiya, and I'm gonna be honest, I completely agree with Maki on the new haircut. He looks a lot better, man. A lot better. I'm digging the look. He's looking clean. Really clean. He kind of reminded me of Neji from Naruto, but now he's got his own unique look. I like it, right? And he realizes that, man, Maki, you got stronger, and I've fallen behind. Basically admitting that Maki's stronger than him. He talks about how, the position of the Kamo family head has fallen to someone else, so he's no longer in candidacy to be the head. He's just the bastard son that's been discarded. And Maki tries to, in a way, cheer him up, saying, I personally like this better now. You seem a lot better. And they compliment each other. He says, same to you. They talk about how, Maki, after they're done here, Maki can lead the colony and meet up with Ui, and she mentions, like I was talking about earlier, that, hey, they're kind of iffy, Ui and Mei, and Noritoshi kind of explains, like, just and this is how Mei's personality is. They're in this stuff to basically benefit them, right? And that's Mei's personality, and I think Ui will do whatever Mei says. So yeah, at the end here we get Kogane kind of yelling. So this Kogane is kind of annoying and loud, and we get to see this weird caterpillar like monster with arms, and I'm guessing this is a special grade curse that's entering, because they both noticed his cursed energy as he's entering, right? So yeah, man, we'll see. But listen, a great fight ended, a really good fight, and this arc right now is it's getting to be on par with Shibuya if things keep up at this rate. I don't think you guys realize, I don't think I realize, we've had so many good fights. Yuji's fight, Megumi's fight, Yuta's fight, Hikari's fight, and now we're about to get Maki and Noritoshi. This stuff is crazy, guys. This is all you could ever want from a shonen, and it's been very consistent and concise. I love it. We haven't even got Yuki Tsukumo yet, and I really need to do a video on her because I've been intrigued on her for a while. I got to do some research and really come out with something. But yeah, guys, great chapter, exciting chapter, man. JJK is awesome, and I'm glad we got to see Maki. I was begging to see Maki during the Culling Games after she got a power up, and here we are. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.